Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Today I want to talk about Dexter. I've not been reviewing every episode, but today I want to do kind of a bulk Dexter so far type of video where we just talk about what the show's done so far with Dexter Resurrection being the just amazing show that it has been so far. The writing has been top notch. I've just really enjoyed the story and everything, seeing characters new and old, especially old ones, come back, seeing these interactions that I really wanted to see in New Blood that we didn't get to see, of course, being Angel and Dexter, and just seeing how that relationship is actually starting to change, where we're seeing how Batista is starting to unwrap and unravel everything that is Dexter, unwrap those layers and see that he is not who he thought he was, seeing everything that's kind of confirming everything that was told to him by Maria and everything before she died. And just seeing how that relationship is changing. We're seeing this whole other side of Angel. We're not seeing Angel the friend. We're seeing Angel the detective who's out on a mission to close this case that has haunted him ever since Maria died, because he always knew that she died under mysterious circumstances. I mean, I can't quite recall the details of it as far as the aftermath after Deb shot her and everything, trying to protect Dexter, and just what really that entailed. But I just want to talk about these, the first few episodes that we've got this season. We've only got a handful left, but just talk about the guest stars that we've got that have just been phenomenal. I mean, we've got Neil Patrick Harris, we've had Kristen Ritter, and we've had a few others, Eric Bonesteel, and everything like that. We've had a lot of these characters come in and play kind of one and done episodes. But with the exception of maybe Mia, she's had a couple episodes. Then we had the Gemini Killer. He had a couple of episodes. And we still got Eric Bonesteel's character, the Ponytail Killer. He is the last one standing. But I just want to talk about these characters and just the wonderful job that they've done with the short time that they've had as far as any screen time. Neil Patrick Harris' character, Lowell, coming in to play the tattoo collector. He, I don't know, you can definitely tell Neil Patrick Harris has a very wide range of acting. Being the comedic guy with How I Met Your Mother, being the serial killer, being the ridiculous raunchy guy from the White Castle movies and everything, and just seeing him come in and play a serial killer was definitely a change of pace as far as seeing the type of characters he plays. But being that's just who he was and everything, and Dexter getting to know him, getting to know these people in this group that he's a part of now with Prater, and just him getting to know these people on different levels and whatnot, and just the weird, I guess, connection that all these characters have, that this is a yearly thing for these serial killers to get together and talk about and celebrate their kills, basically. But seeing Lowell come in and seeing Dexter dispatch of him very quickly. And with the short screen time that he had, he still did a wonderful job. My favorite part, actually, of his performance and of his appearance as this character was when Dexter had him on his table. And Dexter is revealing to him who he actually is. I've watched that scene multiple times, actually, where he says, I'm not Red. And he goes, I'm Dexter Morgan. And he's like, who's that? And just that right there quickly followed up with, I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher. And immediately, Lowell knew who he was. Like, he knows the reputation and everything. Infamous serial killer that killed serial killers, which was just a quick just change of, I don't know. It was just an amazing scene. I really loved it. Leading up to when Dexter takes him out, and just, I don't know. The best part of it all was just when he says, I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher. He quickly knew who he was and that he was not getting off that table. And his parting words, of course. And it was just an amazing scene for that character and everything, and kind of a welcome home for Dexter, going back into the routine, following the code and whatnot, and just seeing him pick up where he left off, basically. And him slowly but surely going to take all these people out. And then him bonding with Mia, thinking that it could be more, until we find out that Mia is not exactly who she's advertised to be. Because when we meet her, she's supposed to be Lady Vengeance. She's supposed to be someone that only goes after serial, sexual predators. And this quickly falls apart after Dexter spends some time with her, revealing that it started out that way, but it quickly dissolved into where she just had the urges. She had to kill. That was her thing. That's what got her off. And Dexter pulled away, and she started to notice this. So he sets her up, planting that watch from that Ryan guy that Harrison did away with in the first episode, and getting her caught by the police rather than trying to kill her. And so it was kind of a, it was a purpose to serve Harrison, of course. It was to get the cops off his tail, to put the murder of this Ryan guy on her. And then we get her in jail and everything, and she's wondering how she's going to get out and how Prater's going to react and whatnot. And then she's dead. And we're led to believe that she, of course, killed herself, but we know that it was the work of a security guard that was paid off by Charlie, the security guard, or Charlie, the security lead for Prater. And because, of course, they thought that she was a risk, that she was in jail, that she was going to spill her guts about accomplices and things like that. But she's quickly done away with. There are people that think she's still alive. I mean, that would be interesting for her to pop back up after believing she's dead and clearly looking dead, honestly, too. But then we move on to the Gemini killer, who had his own twist, where we find out that he is not a single man. He is a twin. Him and his twin brother have made a reputation for just being so good because everyone thinks it's one person. But Dexter takes out one of them just to find out the next day when they're boarding this aircraft to go to this kind of getaway with Prater, when Gemini shows up again and he's thoroughly confused for about 2 seconds. And they realize, oh, Gemini, he is a twin. Him and his twin brother have been doing this together. So that was interesting. And then getting down to that Gemini twin, where Dexter is asking him questions. He's got him kind of isolated by himself at this little event where they're supposed to be sharing their trophies and their process and everything. And he gets them cornered and talking to him, do twins feel pain? And he asks them, did you feel a sharp pain in your chest about 8:20 last night? Because that's when I ran your brother through. So, and just getting him to attack him so it could look like self-defense in front of these other guys, all while taking him out in the process. So that was really interesting to see all that kind of go down. Now we're just left with Eric Bonesteel's character, the Ponytail Killer, who we find out, I guess we got kind of a peek at who he really is. He comes off as kind of really gentle and polite and everything, but he's a psychopath too, clearly, obviously, because he's part of this group. But he presents a video of one of his kills where he's laughing the entire time, and you just see how deeply disturbed this guy is, even though he puts on this front that he's a normal family man and all that for his kids and whatnot, even using the camera that his kids got him for Christmas or something. So we got to see some different levels of people. We got to see behind the curtain a little bit. And then we get this moment with Dexter and Prater where they are just talking about the story of Prater's parents' death. And as he got older, he went to visit the guy that killed them in prison because they were killed by a drunk driver. And he befriends this guy. And soon after that, the guy dies and he starts visiting other killers and other people in prison. He develops this weird infatuation with the cycle of death and whatnot, the people that become killers and everything like that. So we see that Prater is also very disturbed on a very deep level. And so I'm interested to see just where that goes and how he ends up on Dexter's table, or just what happens there. Maybe he gets away. We don't know. But the last couple of things I wanted to kind of touch on that have been interesting. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, where we've seen the relationship between Dexter and Angel really start to shift, because Angel's not letting up and he 100% believes Dexter is who he believes he is, so much so that he starts tracking him by placing, I think it was AirPods, and he's tracking it on his phone by placing those in his car, because Dexter offers to take him back to his place. But then they kind of get into it, and Dexter's like, if you really believe who you think I am, this is not going to end well for you. And he kicks him out of his car, tells him to leave him alone and everything. And Angel's not going to back off. So Angel may not be long for this world, which would be kind of cruddy, because I've always loved Angel's character, and the guy is a really good person and whatnot. And so just seeing that relationship start to unravel too, where they were pretty close back in Miami, and then just seeing this other side of Angel too. Angel the detective, Angel the guy with a mission, because he's been haunted by this ever since Maria died. And I mean, didn't really shed any tears for that woman, because she kind of stuck anyway. She was a glory hound and she was out for herself. But that's a discussion for another time. But just seeing that fall apart, and then seeing the relationship between Dexter and his son kind of come back to life too, and Harrison start to trust him and start to see a future for himself, where so much so that he goes to visit college and Dexter meets him there, and they have this kind of bonding moment where they really could see a future for Harrison being someone else, being someone that isn't controlled by these urges that he thought he was, the same as dad. He thought he would have to go down that path too, but it turns out that he doesn't feel the need to follow those urges, even though that he was kind of, I guess, reborn in the world kind of the same way his dad was, with how his mother was killed and everything. So there's that. And the final thing I want to touch on was the whole fascination and the whole kind of backstory that we've been seeing with the New York Ripper and the theory behind that and what people are starting to believe. And it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't at the same time. It would be interesting as a callback and whatnot. But we've had this story of the New York Ripper kind of working in the background, where we had Claudette, the detective. That was one of her biggest cases. And it's something that's never come to fruition for her. She's never been able to solve it. The guy's never been caught. And so people are really starting to believe and really theorizing, just based on little things here and there, that the New York Ripper is actually the son of Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer. Because, for whatever reason, and other than it would be a great callback, but apparently so, that the actor who played him was actually on assignment or whatever. He was in New York filming an undisclosed project, and he was very secretive about it, and we still don't know what that entails. But a lot of people believe that he was in New York and he was filming a short spot for Dexter. So I'm very interested to see if that comes to light, if that is actually the case, and we get to have another blast from the past, given that we had so many in the first episode with all the ghost cameos. So I'm really interested to see that and just how that ties in and just what they do with it, because from everything we understand, this is a multi-season deal. So I'm really excited to see how the story goes, where it goes, what happens to all these characters, new and old, and all of that. So it's been a very, very fun show. I've enjoyed the crap out of it. It's just been, every week is me waiting for the next episode, which doesn't happen a lot anymore. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed my breakdown, my thoughts about it, please leave your likes, your comments, and all of that. Subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.